Oh, we're back on Smells Like 90's Rock. It's Hot Toddy and DJ P.O.R.C. You know, they were mentioned the UT Vols in the stop set there, and how do you feel about them whipping? Well, not really whipping them. They stayed right with them. Kentucky last week. I know you have a thing against. I'll give them a round of applause. How you root for Kentucky to beat the Vols? Not that you're a Kentucky fan. You have a vendetta.
I'm like a quasi fan since last year when they beat them.
You have a vendetta against the team.
I have an appreciation for the Wildcats from last year
because they beat us so bad.
Well, I had a relative that I asked them, like, please do not go to a game.
Oh, that's
during
right.
the pandemic.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And they went in the first game, and I was like, oh my god.
Right.
So, but then Kentucky came along and just beat Tennessee 35-7. I was like, all right, they're not going to any more games.
That's it.
Thank you, Kentucky.
He appreciates you, Kentucky Wildcats, if you're listening, and I'm sure none of you all up there miss an episode of Smells Like 90's Rock.
Go Wildcats, round.
Here in Knoxville. But he has an appreciation for you for beating UT so that his relative would stop going to games.
Lexington's beautiful this time of year.
You're sucking up hardcore.
Kentucky Wildcats sponsor us.
Hey, all right.
That'd be like the ultimate insult.
We'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, it would be like the ultimate insult to this university.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
Do you think there's any administrators listening to us?
No, nobody cares about this show.
Cool.
We're the only ones listening to this show. But yeah, I was wondering how you felt about that Kentucky beating, or us beating Kentucky. I was like, uh-oh.
Barely.
Well, barely, but we still did it.
It was a barely scenario.
Well, listen, Kentucky's been pretty damn good this year. They beat Florida. They beat LSU. They beat some good teams this year, so they've come out of the woodwork. So
their first loss was to Georgia.
Yeah, they're a force to be. They'll be a force to be reckoned with in future
Go Wildcats!
Years.
Round. That's what they say at my work.
Go Wildcats! Round.
Round.
That's like that.
Exactly.
Go Wildcats! Round. He's like that's another set of TikTok videos. You probably not come
money is exchanged over that battle cry.
Right.
Well, from bets.
Well, yeah. But there's TikTok videos of girls, like 18-year-olds who are about to go to college, and they're sporting the sweatshirt or the T-shirt of the college they're going to, but then they say, I'm going to so and so state. Go.
They make the battle cry. Or what would it be for the Vols?
No, well that's just it.
Volunteer.
Now Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home, probably, or something like that. But no, what's funny about the videos is that they talk. They're usually country, or they talk so fast you have no idea what they say. Like, I'm going to University of Connecticut, go Wildcats!
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that when you say that, go Wildcats, that's what it reminded me of.
Round.
Go Wildcats, BOGO. Oh, okay, BOGO.
Yeah, BOGO. Wow.
That's his battle cry, is BOGO, and that's why his name is now BOGO on this show.
Exactly.
You have to keep us updated on BOGO. I need more BOGO in my life.
Yeah.
I need more. You're just a fireman. I need to know how he's doing. We need.
Well, I can share one story, but we'll do it off air.
What? No, come on. You can't.
It's slightly rough.
You can't tickle the undercarriage of the show and then not deliver.
I think it's just kind of rough.
No.
I don't think you would appreciate it being
DJ
delivered
P.O.R.C.
on air.
Come on. That's a...
It involves a woman's right to choose.
Okay, never mind. That's a round of applause for you not...
For showing some tact.
Yeah, you're right. We're pro-choice on this show, and I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here and say you're just a fireman is not pro-choice.
I don't think he has any opinion on it.
Oh, he doesn't really care.
Yeah, I don't think he has. I don't think he thinks about social issues to that extent.
Oh, okay. So he's one of those.
I'm sure he does, but I don't think he thinks about that one.
I have to
never heard him discuss it.
I have to hang this microphone down like it's an intense talk radio show. You know, have you ever in movies or TV where they're like,
yes,
they
this
zoom
feels
in
like
on
the Alex Jones show.
Yeah, they zoom in on like a studio, and the guy's like sitting there with a cigarette and he's talking real deep, but the microphone's always like this, like hanging down in front of him, sort of like that. That's kind of what I have to do with this microphone.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm annoyed by anybody who gets on camera and speaks into a microphone this way. Like this. I feel like this is solely for like either podcasters or radio, but you have people who are. Well, a lot of times,
camera. Well, a lot of times it's because it's a radio or podcast show and they film it, and so you're looking at them. Like Howard Stern used to record his show and put it on TV.
It's just
see him like
I
this.
guess maybe it's just because you're kind of meshing the media together, because
that bothers you.
Well, when I think of people on TV, I think of the microphone on like their shirt,
with the lapel mic. But that's specifically for a TV show. But if you're recording a radio or podcast show for video or for television, you're going to see people like this, like what we're doing right now.
I get, yeah, it does. I'm just kind of thrown off by it.
Why does it throw you off?
I have no idea.
You're just making stuff up now.
I saw you put out a review on Dune. Should I go see it?
You need to see Dune. Dune is a great film.
I've read most of the book.
Have you read the book? I mentioned on the show I've
read a good portion of it.
I haven't read. I haven't never read.
I think, from what I understand, this movie only covers half of the book.
It's part one. There's part two is coming in 2023.
That makes sense because it's like an 800-page book.
Yeah.
It's big.
If you're going to see Dune, just be aware that this is part one and part two is coming in 2023. Stand by.
Broadcasting from the shadows of Neyland Stadium on the University of Tennessee campus. Volunteer Radio is WUTK 90.3 FM, Knoxville, Tennessee.
But it's a great film. It's I don't know. I can't say if it's better or worse. Have you ever seen David Lynch's Dune version of Dune from 1984? It's a great film too.
It's got Patrick Stewart in it.
It's got Patrick Stewart. It's got Kyle MacLachlan. Sting is in it. Sting is in it while he was still with the police. So it's
good for him.
This was before he was Sting. So when you saw this movie, you're just like, that's that guy from the Police. When that movie was in theaters.
What's his face? Oscar Isaac. He has a quasi-musical career on the side. He's an actor. That's where he gets most of his paycheck.
He has a musical career too?
I think he had one prior to like making it big in movies. I think he was.
Know that. That makes me sad.
What? He's talented.
Well, Brie Larson had a pop career in the early 2000s too.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. It makes you sad, doesn't it?
Why?
Because it's weird.
It's just weird.
I don't like it.
Well,
they're better actors. They need to stick to acting.
Well, like what I'm looking forward to is that
Kevin Costner.
Well, I mean, there's like 5 Dune books, and they
really,
yeah.
I didn't know there was that many.
I've heard like the first one's the best. Mm-hmm. The next 2 are okay. They're worth reading, but then like they just turn into trash.
Well,
so like
many sequels do.
Well, like I just hope we get to that point, because apparently, according to the just like a little blurb I read about it, just to see if it was worth reading this 800-page book.
Yeah.
Like one of in like the 4th book, I think one of the main character's descendants from the first one. Yeah. He becomes ruler of Dune, but he's like a human sandworm hybrid kind of thing.
Oh god.
So like I hope it deteriorates to that point.
That's just schlocky bullcrap.
And I hope like the original cast drops off and he's played by like who's that guy from SNL with all the tattoos? I hope it's
Pete Davidson.
Yeah. I hope it's played. Yeah, I hope it's like nobody wants to touch the Dune franchise at this point. Like,
let's hire Pete Davidson.
Get Pete Davidson.
That's fine. Pete Davidson.
Just do that.
I love that.